Aren't Polish elections coming up? Trump meets Polish nationalist candidate ahead of presidential election. You don't say. It's the piss party. Karol Nawrocki. Didn't we cover a Polish election pretty recently? Yeah, in 2023. Though, okay, those were the parliamentary elections, but this is the presidential election. Okay. Sorry, my American mind, etc., etc. So, it's just a matter of like if the piss party wins this one, the incumbent president is ineligible for re-election. Okay, gotcha. So there's no incumbent. Gotcha, gotcha. Two-round system. What gender is the green one? That's a very unwoke thing to say, Nuts, but I understand where you're coming from. All polls suggests that Trzaskowski wins both rounds. This fella, not the piss party, serving as city mayor of Warsaw, political scientist specializing in European studies. That sounds good. That sounds good? Does it? Yeah, somebody who studies political science. Basically a liberal. Okay, but like in the context of Poland, there are worse things. It seems like his numbers have been going down lately, though. Are we seeing like, okay, hold on. Who's Minson? And why have they been losing popularity? They're with the Confederation Liberty Independence far-right political alliance. Okay, so the far right has been losing vote share in the polling, which is good. Wow, guys, look at the Trump effect again. They're more Hitlerite than Pitt. Yep, okay, so far right goes down. But in this case, because it's like a broader multi-party system, it's not just the far right. You also have the regular right. People are moving from the far right to the regular right. It also looks like Trzaskowski's polling is going down a little bit as well. Zandberg is our guy, the guy with 4.6% approval, or not approval, sorry, like polling favorability. Second round polls are stable for Trzaskowski. He's losing to the left. Okay, that's good. That's good. Can you link me the second round polling, please? The data? Is it on this page? Is the opinion? Oh, okay. Oh, it's on this page. It's on this page. Man, polling sure is more difficult in multi-party democracies, huh? Oh, wait, hold on. This looks perfectly clear. Okay, yeah. Once you normalize for the second round voting, it seems like Trzaskowski is a shoo-in. It doesn't even seem like there's that much variance within the margins there. That's like a 16-point difference. Okay. Yeah, I've heard Poland is a beautiful country. I know people make fun of it because they're kind of like beaten up a little bit for being the Balkan representative to the rest of Europe because they're, you know, right there, right next to Germany. And they're a larger country. But I've heard beautiful things. Are you literally Polish? Yeah, like in my blood, but in my heart I'm American. Like I've never been there. Balkan representative, Poland, what? This guy needs to watch more Zizek. They're both huge neolibs. Trzaskowski is just slightly less reactionary. Okay, well, let's see how reactionary he is, since it seems like he's going to win. Am I saying his name correctly, by the way? Trzaskowski? Normally, like, my last name is Koczynski, but that's not how... No? Okay, then correct me, please. Trzaskowski? Like that? Do I drop the T, basically? Trzaskowski? Do you know any Polish words? No, why would I? Tchaikovsky. Wow, okay, I was way off. Yeah, my last name is Polish, of course, but it's anglicized Polish. It's not actually Polish. Trzaskowski. Okay, Trzaskowski. Handsome fella. Don't let people sanewash Nawrocki. He's piss is far right. They did the LGBT free zones. On the 18th of February, Tchaikovsky, right? Tchaikovsky? Signed a 12-point LGBT declaration combating discrimination of the LGBT community and providing guidance in the area of personal security, education, culture, sport, administration, employment. Well, that's nice. Is this guy really that bad? Being like aggressively pro-LGBT in 2019 Poland seems to me like it indicates, I don't know, some kind of backbone, at least in some progressive issues. He's a woke neolib. Okay. I guess like considering the fact that my country is currently being raped to death by neo-Nazis, I'm maybe my standards have lowered a little bit, like the bar's a little lower. Tchaikovsky. Okay. He dropped all the progressive issues in his campaign. Did he? Oh, that's unfortunate. I guess I'd have to know more specifics to really have a grasp on that. How much power does the president have in Poland? Because it varies country to country, right? Like in some places, like none? Not very? Okay, then would if his role is just that as a head of state and he doesn't really have much governmental power, isn't it more important that he be progressive than that he be like economically You know what I mean? He'll be cutting healthcare spending? Well, I hope not. Okay, all right. I'll withhold some of my concerns, I guess. We'll see how it goes. But I am happy to see that in the second round polling, he's well ahead of the more Hitlerite option. So, okay. President has a large blocking power. Well, I'm happy to see relatively good news out of Romania and Poland then. Relatively. We'll see how things go in Romania. Wouldn't it be nice if in both of these elections, the candidate that supported Trump lost? Like Simeon was there during his inauguration, and, we know who Trump prefers in Poland. It was just like country after country after country after country after country where the Trump candidate loses. I just, I like the vibe. How much better news is Carney winning, in your opinion, these two? The Carney one is huge. That's the biggest one. Like, Carney was the conservatives in Canada were going to win in a massive sweep. We border Canada, we are threatening them, and then in no time at all, massive turnaround, right? And the liberals, the liberals take head. So that was iconic. Type shit. Exactly. Romanians vote in presidential test of Trump-style nationalism. The Romanian presidential election looks like it's probably going to go to the far-right guy, right? Eastern Europe is doomed. Is there any polling that I can look at? Is there any reliable polling? Simeon is on top. Simeon is the far-right guy? Is he? That's the new far-right guy? But he's not the same guy as before, right? Wasn't Antonescu the last one? The last far-right guy? No, he's not. No, this isn't him. Oh, no, he's the incumbent guy? The other guy got banned. Georgescu. Okay, that's why I recognize the SQ at the end there. Okay, Georgescu was the one. He was barred. So he's really not being let back on. Okay. So how bad is George Simeon? Because it seems like he's pulling on top by a pretty decent margin right now. It's 2-round voting, so the votes are going to be consolidated. I don't know if he's gonna win in the long run. Very, very bad. Okay. Check second round polling. Okay, hypothetical second round polling. Let's see. Well, it looks like in Antonescu versus Simeon, it looks like Antonescu wins. In Dan versus Simeon, it looks closer by a bit. In Ponta versus Simeon, it looks like Simeon has the edge. And then we don't care about the other ones because I can't match every because I can't look at every case, I suppose. Only Dan or Antonescu matters. How close are Dan and Antonescu to each other? Like, would voters swap from one to another? Simeon is far right, but he's more of an opportunist and is well known to have connections with the ruling parties. Okay. They're both moderates. Well, then it seems like Simeon doesn't actually have the best odds at winning here. He looks like a different guy in this picture to this picture, doesn't he? Here he looks way more stately than here. Here he looks really pale, but here he looks like he's from a photo from the 80s. Like a, you know what I mean? Campaigning for the unification of Moldova and Romania. Okay. Civil activism. He looks from like Mike from Red Letter Media. You know, he kind of does. I see that. Is this the good guy or bad guy? Well, this would be the bad guy to us, I suppose. But, in my opinion, the Jedi are evil. He is a persona non grata in both Ukraine and Moldova. Okay. Is he like pro-Transnistria? All right, well, he's a Zionist. Meeting, Simeon acknowledged and expressed regret about Romania's role in the Holocaust during World War II. That's good. Promised to combat anti-Semitism. That's good. And supported the expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank. That's bad. He's not as insanely pro-Russia as the previous one? Okay. So he's not like pro-Transnistria or whatever? Well, his party is anti-Semitic as They had recent chat leaks in their youth group talking about gassing Jews and Slavs. Gassing Slavs in Romania? Man, it's crazy, man. Are there any white supremacists? Romanians are not Slavs? That's the fun thing. To an American, yeah, you are. Romania is not a Slavic country, man. Romania is Latin. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know that to Americans, Slav means any people who are like within 3 tones of my skin who are east of Germany. They don't know that we don't care. You drink vodka and you talk funny. Romanians love saying they're descendants of Romans. I wonder where they might get that idea from. Ultranationalists far right oppose the same-sex marriage anti-mask, anti-vaccine, and Magyarophobic, anti-Hungarian sentiment. Okay. That's right. You look back at the Balkans and you got to learn all these new forms of racism. Americans don't see ethnicity. You have to understand. We don't. That's not a joke. We don't. We have white people, Hispanics, blacks, Asians. We can tell Russians, but like we think that Russians include Georgians, Ukrainians, Belarusians, anyone who talks like this, more or less. That's all like a group to us. What, no Indians? I guess there's like Indians and Middle Easterners too. Yeah. Pretty much it though. Like that's pretty much it, you know? We don't really see your ethnic distinctions, so. He was at the second inauguration of Donald Trump. Okay. As of 2025, he lived in a 52 square meter studio flat in Bucharest, purportedly donating 90% of his salary from parliamentary employment to civic causes related to Romania or Romanians. Okay. Interesting. Well, we'll see how it goes. It still seems like the polling is against him.